follow UC President Santa Ono on Twitter. Well, he's one of the most prolific CEO tweeters in our community. Vehr Communications recently released a study that compares social media and online activity of 221 local CEOs to that of the CEOs of the world's largest and fastest growing companies. Among the general findings, university presidents rock social media. Less tenure means more activity online. And size matters, and smaller means more. In this morning's Business Insight, Nick Vehr, president of Vehr Communications, joins Kelly Leon with more on the findings in the study. Kelly and Nick.
Thanks, Peg. Good to have you here, Nick.
Morning.
I follow Santa Ono. Watch him like crazy. He's tweeting all the time. So why did Vehr Communications undertake this study?
Well, I think leadership matters. It always does. CEOs are the leaders of their enterprises, and they play the role of connecting the inside to the outside. And social media is the most powerful tool available today to build relationships, to develop relationships, and that's why it matters. What we do in our business is we help them succeed. Managing relationships is a critical piece of that. Social media is a big part.
But is it really the CEOs that are tweeting, for example? I mean, we could talk about a lot of different social media, but is it them who's doing it, or is it somebody on their staff?
Well,
and does it matter?
Well, so we mentioned Santa Ono. In Santa Ono's case, my understanding is it's mostly him. And if you follow him on Twitter, you can see that he's developed a voice, that it is him. And now, again, he has a target audience that is primarily 18 to 19-year-olds who are very active on Twitter. So it makes sense for him to be on Twitter. It makes sense for him to do it. It might not make sense for every CEO to be on Twitter or to be on Facebook, but they can post videos. They can monitor conversations online. They can have different expressions on their websites so that people can develop an understanding of who that leader is and how they lead that company.
But, well, I'm curious in the findings, but one of my impressions would be, gee, if they're spending all this time on social media and tweeting, when are they doing their job?
Hey, the fundamental job of a CEO is to be the relationship manager, the chief relationship officer for the company. And so, years past, it was a 2-martini lunch. It was a round of golf in the afternoon. I think in the future, it's social media.
So what are the takeaways? What were the big...
Well, Cincinnati CEOs, we compared their social media activity to that of the 2012 Fortune 500 CEOs, so the big publicly traded companies, and the Inc. 500 CEOs, the fastest growing companies in the world. And not surprisingly, our Cincinnati CEOs fell right about in the middle when it comes to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the most popular by far. Almost 6 out of 10, 59% of them are involved in LinkedIn. And I think what we're going to see over time is this is just going to change more and more, increase more and more and more as two things happen. One, as social media becomes more a part of an integrated communications program for any corporation. And two, as basically as people who grew up with social media find their way to the corner office.
Yeah.
And it's a part of what they do. It's how they communicate. It's innate rather than being something that's learned.
What are the benefits to the organization? Were you able to measure that at this point?
Well, no, it's a little difficult, and our study was really just looking at who's doing it and where are they doing it. The benefits to the company, though, like many things related to strategic communications, is anecdotal and cumulative, meaning there's probably not a direct line to, oh, on social media, boom, made a sale. But being on social media engages a relationship, provides confidence for someone looking at that company and the product or services they offer to say, hey, there's a culture there, there's an environment there, that's a leader I can identify with, and that then in turn can lead to business success.
Okay. What about P&G, real quick? We talked about them earlier. Are they just lighting up on Twitter right now?
P&G is very active, and they're very good, and they're very coordinated, and they're very measured, as you would expect of a large publicly traded company.
Yeah.
Importantly, when the SEC ruled earlier this year that Twitter and Facebook are now viable tools for communicating market-changing information, forward-looking information, P&G was one of the first to say, we are absolutely going to look at that.
All right, you can see the full study at vehrcommunications.com?
www.vehrcommunications.com, and we encourage people to download it and read it.
All right, thanks.